All right. Good morning. Today, well, my content on this channel is kind of all over the place right now. Let me get in some better lighting. There we go. Content on this channel all over the place. From streaming to Wheel of Torture. It's all over the place. Might as well be. Uh, but today we're gonna look at not look at. Today this is my NFL record predictions. Today. I mean, I'm no analyst. I can't tell you everything about the NFL, obviously. I mean, I'm just a guy doing a guy thing, I guess. Anyways, we might as well start off in the AFC East with the Bills. And the Bills last year, if you didn't know, 13-3 record, which is a little different this year because NFL moved to a 17 game season. And so I was thinking of the Bills first, and um, so the Bills, really good team, AFC Championship last year, lost to the Chiefs. Uh, right now, I'm looking, even then, I'm thinking probably 4, 13-4 range for the Bills. Can you see that? Yeah, it's backwards, whatever. Yeah, they got an MVP candidate quarterback. They got a good ground game, great offensive line, top 10 defense. One of the best teams in the league, easily. So 13-4. And now we're on to the Miami Dolphins, who finished 10-6 last year, just missed out on the playoffs. Here's another good team. Their GM has been finessing the league right now. They traded Laramie Tunsil, and they got a first-round pick out of it from Houston, which is very impressive how they pulled that off. And then they traded their third overall pick for the 12th overall pick, and then traded up to the 6th overall pick. So, yeah, they've been trading all over the place. They've been dealing a lot. Tua looked kind of incompetent, but he was also a rookie. Many rookie quarterbacks don't look great. I mean, you look at Peyton Manning, 3-13 in his rookie year, 28 interceptions. That's rough. And so, I'm thinking probably 10-7, maybe 11-16, 16, maybe 11-6. Um, yeah, I mean a good defense. I need to quit saying Xavier Howard, uh, obviously wanting to get out of Miami, but I mean this offense pretty solid. You got Parker and you got Myles Gaskin, who really showed that he can be a reliable running back when he's not injured. This team, probably I'd say a dark horse Super Bowl candidate in the AFC. Okay, next we have, quit saying dang it. Got the New England Patriots. They are uh, kind of a weird team to look at from this perspective. Is Cam Newton going to show up, or is he going to get benched within like the first 5 games? And even then, is Mac Jones going to show up? You're getting a lot of their defensive players sat out last year. Patrick Chung, Dante Hightower both sat out. Their defensive leaders are going to be back, so that's good for them. The quarterback situation, though, kind of messy in Boston right now, in Foxborough. I'm going to give them probably 8-9. just seeing how it goes. I can't give them a winning record. There's just so many questions on the Patriots right now that it's hard to rank them or give them any better of a record. So next up, we got the New York Jets, who just got a new quarterback. I mean, here's another team that's kind of uh, fixated with a quarterback problem, but not really. I mean, they got their franchise guy. Do I think he'll start day one? Probably. He's looking like he is probably going to start day one. Obviously, last year, the Jets kind of screwed it up. They were 0-13, and then they won back-to-back games against the Rams and the Browns. And so they kind of screwed up getting the number one pick, but number two was just fine for them, Zach Wilson. So I'd say, I mean, they're not going to be the best team, obviously. Rookie quarterback, all that. I'm thinking probably 4-13. The defense isn't great. They don't have a. I mean, they got Jameson Crowder. He's somewhat of an offensive playmaker, but their run game was absolutely abysmal last year. If you watched a Jets game, you wanted to fall asleep, and I did a couple times, like that Cardinals game. That was just, and that Seahawks game, just two really rough games to watch. I switched the channel. So next up we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, who were 12-4. Go say no. Anyways, Steelers, pretty solid team all around, good defense. You got James Conner in the backfield. You got Chase Claypool, other guys on the offense side of the ball that can make plays. They did do something pretty stupid, releasing David DeCastro for Trey Turner. That wasn't a great move, but I feel like the team is still a playoff team. They just got to put it together. So I'm gonna say 11-6, probably what I'm looking at for them. Winning the division, I don't know about that. The AFC North is a very tough division. I could see any four of the teams, even the Bengals. I could see them taking it if everything falls into place for them. All right, so next up we got Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens, another team that kind of hard to rank in my opinion because it's kind of hard to see if they're going to be in the playoffs or like the 20th pick. It's just kind of messy. Could be kind of like the Dolphins last year. Lamar Jackson didn't play near as well as he did the year before, MVP season. The run game still good. The defense still good. I think this team. I think this team could also go 11-6. Just the defense is very, very solid. They're getting more guys back. I think it's a good team. Now we have the Cleveland Browns. Made the playoffs for the first time since 2002 last season and absolutely smoked the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the Browns getting Odell Beckham Jr. back, which he's not their biggest playmaker in my opinion. I'd actually say their biggest playmaker is Nick Chubb on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, you got a great running back, probably the best running back combination in the league there with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. I mean, both of them are starting running backs if you look at it. Baker Mayfield, I wouldn't say a great quarterback, but a good quarterback. And then you got Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. catching the ball for him. The defense also solid. Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett, guys like that, holding it down. I mean, it's very hard to rank this. I say 10-7, maybe a wild card team, maybe a 20th pick team. It could go either way. And then we got the Bengals. Well, I think they could be a dark horse candidate to win the AFC. I also think that it could go terribly wrong. I mean, you saw Joe Burrow get injured last year and they fell apart. But almost every game they played in was close, which is good for a young team like that. You want to have close games and not blowouts, obviously. You want to perform well. Winning record, possibly, I'm going to give them 7-10. Just right on the verge, getting there. A double-digit loss season, but also I think they'll be a solid team that within a couple of years will make a playoff run. And then we got the Tennessee Titans. Titans, very good team. Got guys on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. Ryan Tannehill showed us that all he needs is really a good scheme around him, and he plays better. And then Derrick Henry, absolute beast. A.J. Brown is a beast. Julio Jones, they just got him. He's a beast when he's on the field. Their entire offense is awesome. A top 5 offense probably this year. And if I'm being honest, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they just won the entire AFC. If they made the Super Bowl, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm going to give them 13-4. 13-4. And then we got the Indianapolis Colts. This is another team that's kind of hard to look at from a record standpoint. Is Carson Wentz going to show up? Is he not going to show up? He hasn't played well the past few years. And so, looking at it that way, this team has a great defense, but it also kind of depends on how Carson Wentz plays. We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm probably saying 9-8. Maybe not playoff, but definitely in the wild card for a while. And then next up, we got Houston Texans. I'm going to be completely honest. I think the Houston Texans will be the worst team in the league this season. And I think their record will be 3-14. I mean, just the quarterback situation, Deshaun Watson, he's in court. No one knows what's going to happen. I mean, who's their playmaker? Will Fuller? Yeah, that's and J.J. Watt went to Arizona. I mean, Will Fuller's about the only guy that I can think of off the top of my head that's a star player. That's the only guy I think of when I think of Houston Texans. I mean, Bill O'Brien just screwed him over. 3-14. Probably the worst team in the league. But, I mean, they'll get the number 1 pick. Probably draft a quarterback, I'm sure. Then the Jacksonville Jaguars. I tend to not look at rookie quarterbacks starting as a good thing. I don't look down upon it. No. But it's just, you kind of want a mentor. And I think if like a Nick Foles kind of guy could come back to Jacksonville, that'd be just fine for them. But Trevor Lawrence, I think, is going to start day 1. He's got pretty solid offensive weapons. The offensive line probably needs some work to it. And the defense probably needs some work to it. But they're setting up the foundation for a playoff run. Definitely not this year, but in the years to come, they'll make something out of it, I'm sure. I give them probably a 5-12, maybe a 4-13. Yeah, we'll go 5-12. All right, next up we have the last AFC West division. No, the last AFC division, AFC West. Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, you look at the Chiefs. They got destroyed in the Super Bowl, but they're still the Chiefs. They still have a great offense and a great defense. 13-4 for sure. Not the best team in the AFC, I don't think. I think the Titans could take that spot, but definitely I think the Titans or the Bills could take that moniker as best team in the AFC. But I mean, we'll see how it goes. Maybe they'll surprise us and be even better. Now the Raiders, I think out of all the NFL teams is such. It's either a full-on, just great team, or it's just mediocre. They have weapons on that team. Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller. Even though people give Derek Carr crap, he's not a terrible quarterback. I mean, the defense isn't abysmal, I would say. It's kind of hard to rank them, though. I'd say 8 and 9. Probably 8 and 9. Yeah. We'll say 8 and 9 for them. And then the Los Angeles Chargers. This is a team I really like. I really want to watch this team this year. Justin Herbert he played great this year. I mean, Tyrod Taylor kind of got his career screwed up with one of their doctors puncturing his lung. That was rough. But it also gave way for Justin Herbert, who played amazing this year. One of the best rookie quarterback performances possibly ever. It's a defense that's kind of hit and miss, in my opinion. I mean, there was the game against New Orleans. New Orleans had, two? What did they have? I think they had 2 punt return touchdowns, and they also had a defensive touchdown. It was a rough game for everyone. But I could see the Chargers being a wild card team, but I could also see them not quite making the playoffs. I'd say right on the verge of it. We'll go 10-7. I like the Chargers. I like what voice crack. I like what they're doing there in LA. And then we also got the Broncos. Are they getting Aaron Rodgers? Are they not? Are they getting Deshaun Watson? Are they getting Deshaun Watson, or are they not? It's all speculation at this point. And with the team they have right now, they got, in my opinion, one of the best secondaries in the league. Kyle Fuller, Justin Simmons, 2 very solid players right there. They've had a good defense. They pretty much had a good defense this entire stretch of not making the playoffs. It's been their offense. Is Drew Lock gonna be the guy for them? They're getting Cortland Sutton back. He's good. Melvin Gordon, maybe he'll play a little better this year. It's all speculation at this point, though. But with the team they have, I say 7-10. 7-10. Not the worst team in the division, but I mean, they're around there. Actually, they would be the worst team in the division. I gave the Raiders 8 and 9. All right, now we're on to the NFC East, which is kind of funny to rank. I think out of all these teams, I'd say probably the Cowboys have the best shot, but they somehow screw it up every time. Let's start with the football team, formerly known as the Redskins. So the football team, man, it feels weird saying that. Washington, I'm just gonna say Washington. They just slipped into the playoffs with a 7-9 record. It was kind of a quarterback carousel. it it was hectic in the NFC, and really for this team, they have a great young core though. I mean, they got a veteran guy in Ryan Kerrigan leading that defense, and then they got Chase Young and two young guys in Chase Young and Montez Sweat coming off the edge. Offensively, not not anybody that really stands out to me. Mm, no, they have a good running back core. I will say that their run game's pretty solid. But really, at quarterback, just Ryan Fitzpatrick, well known for going here, there, and everywhere. He's played for pretty much every team at this point. I'm gonna give him a 6-11, but maybe that'll win the division. Who knows? All right, next up we got the Giants, and I think I'm gonna give the Giants 6-11 too. Daniel Jones, I just feel like he's not quite there yet. Maybe he'll develop this year. It'll be his third season. He's still young. He's got time to develop. But I just don't think this team's there yet. Not quite. Saquon Barkley will be back, so the run game should be a lot better than it was last year. And overall, I mean, pretty solid team if they can put it all together. Okay, now we got the Dallas Cowboys, another hard team to rank. In 2019, they had number one best offense and I think the number one best defense, and they went 7-9, which just goes to show you can put a great team together, but you can't make them win. Dak Prescott's back. That's great for them. Ezekiel Elliott. Here's my personal opinion on Ezekiel Elliott. He's good, but I think he needs a good line to run behind. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think he's as great as people make him out to be. And they got a lot of offensive weapons. Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb played great last year. I think they'll win the division probably. I'll give them a 9-8 record. 9-8. I say they'll be the only winning team in the division. And the Eagles, I'm kind of on the fence about the Eagles. If Jalen Hurts plays well, they'll be a good team. Their defense isn't great. Probably should work on that. But I think they take this year off, and I say they reevaluate the situation. Maybe get a top 5 pick. I say 4-13, not 4-3. I say 4-13. 4-13. Okay, next up we got the NFC North, and we got the Green Bay Packers. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm a Bears fan. I hate the Packers with a passion. If I could see the Packers organization burn to the ground, I would laugh. I'd have no remorse whatsoever. I absolutely hate the Packers. There's probably nothing I hate more, honestly. And I know that sounds a little vulgar coming from me, but I just don't like the Packers. Basically, watching us get beat down every single year is kind of tough. So, the Packers are still a good team. Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. Even though I hate his guts, he's really good. He is. I say with Aaron Rodgers, they're 13-4. Without Aaron Rodgers, they're probably 9-8. Let's go. I'm gonna go 12-5. 12-5. All right, and so next we have. Oh, no, not yet. Don't want to end the stream yet. I'm not done. Next up, we got the Chicago Bears. If you could guess, my favorite team. So the Bears are also kind of hard to rank, in my opinion. Our defense is hit and miss. The quarterback situation, we've got Justin Fields. We probably got our future right there. Andy Dalton probably still going to start day one. I'm not big on Andy Dalton at all. Our run game is good. We got. I'm just gonna say it. I'm a Bears fan. This is probably stupid. I think we got a top 10 receiving core in the NFL. Darnell Mooney, people are sleeping on him. Anthony Miller's not insane, but he's definitely servable. And then Allen Robinson's a Pro Bowler. If the Bears put it all together, they're 11-6. But I always get let down by the Bears. Never fails. And so probably I'm gonna say 8-9. Yeah. I say 8-9. Maybe 7-10. And maybe they just take another year, they reevaluate it, and then they make the playoffs next year. I don't know. Minnesota Vikings, another team that's kind of hit and miss. Make the playoffs one year, miss it the next. Make the playoffs one year, miss it the next. Well, the pattern they're going, they'll make the playoffs this year. I say 10-7. Losing Stephon Diggs hurt, but getting Justin Jefferson, that was a win-win trade. In the future, I think they'll get a new quarterback. Kirk Cousins, last year of his contract. I don't know if he is the guy there. Maybe he is. Maybe he signs like a 1 or 2 year deal. Keep it going. I doubt he'll stay there though. So probably 10-7. I'd say. Not too bad, but not. I mean, wild card maybe not. And lastly, we got the Lions. I think the Lions. No shame to the Lions, but I think they'll be one of the worst teams in the league. Kind of there with the Texans. I say 4-13. I think Jared Goff was a downgrade from Matthew Stafford. Their defense is not very good. Could definitely use some work. The run game is kind of scattered. It's kind of all over the place. There's just when I look at this team, there's not really a player that truly sticks out to me. And sometimes that's not a problem, but I think you kind of need a guy that you can look at and say, hey, that's our guy. And there's no guy on the Lions that I can definitively say that about. Maybe Penei Sewell. Am I saying his name right? Penei Sewell. Yeah. Probably him. But yeah, probably 4-13. All right, we got 8 teams left. My throat hurts from not things that you are probably dirty-minded and think about. But the Saints, 12-4 last year. Drew Brees retires. I say 9-8. I mean, Jameis Winston is not the best quarterback in the world. If he plays well, they might be better. But going off of what he's done in the past, probably 9-8. And then the Buccaneers. Probably, Super Bowl champs, defending Super Bowl champs. I'm gonna say 12-5. Yeah, Buccaneers, great team. really good, really solid. On the Super Bowl last year, you can look at any position on that team, and there's so much depth on that team. It's absolutely insane. Probably the Super Bowl frontrunner in the NFC, and as long as they keep beating the Packers, I'm totally fine with that. Then we got the Panthers. I think the Panthers will be pretty. I mean, not bad, but not great. Probably 5-12. I'm thinking take another year, reevaluate, just the rebuild. Maybe get a new quarterback, and maybe Sam Darnold's their guy. I don't know. No, the Falcons. I think the Falcons will do better than they did last year. Not a winning record, but 7-10, 7-10, 8-9 range. I think Matt Ryan, not the best season last year. Their defense isn't amazing, but it can be servable at times. And I'm kind of excited to watch Kyle Pitts play. Dude's a beast. So yeah, we have 4 teams left. We got the Seahawks, who, Seahawks offense, pretty good. Seahawks defense, pretty good. I say 11-6. Pretty solid team. And then we got the Rams. I think an upgrade. I think it's an upgrade with Matthew Stafford compared to Jared Goff. Really good defense. Probably a top 15 offense, top 5 defense. I'm putting them in probably the 11 is. Yeah, probably 11-6, 10-7 range. I don't see him doing much better than that, but maybe Matthew Stafford can finally win a playoff game. To be honest, I'd be happy for him. The Lions, the 4 Lions, they've just been kicked to crap. Okay, next, the Arizona Cardinals. On the fence about this one as well. They're a good team. Can they put it all together, though? That's always the question with every team. I mean, it's a stacked NFC West. Has been for a while. I give it 10-7. So there you go. You got 3 10-win teams just right there. And then finally we have the 49ers. Finished 6-10. Had a rough season last year. What's his face? Jimmy Garoppolo gets injured. Trey Lance is their future. They've established that, but he's not going to go in right away. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be the mentor. This team's kind of hard to rank as well. I'm going to say 8-9, probably. I mean, not terrible, but the team definitely needs some work. I will say Brandon Ayuk looked really good last year. They got a solid run game. And, yeah, I think that's going to be it for the stream. Remember, this is just my take on it. I'm not an expert on this. This is just my opinion. I'm really excited to watch the NFL this season. And hopefully I can see the Bears get to the playoffs before I die. But anyways, that's going to be it for the video. Goodbye.